Okay, so for this video, we will talk about balancing redox reactions. So in redox reactions class, it's not the same as balancing kanang normal lang equations wherein you just need to balance the number of atoms, like how many carbons in the reactants and how many carbons in the product. So redox reaction is a little bit more complicated than that. So um, in balancing redox reactions, the first step is, of course, we have to identify if the reaction is a redox reaction, diba? So let's say, for example, we have copper. Oops, sorry. Let's say, for example, we have copper. Copper plus silver ion to form copper 2 plus silver nga solid. Okay, so to know if this reaction is a redox reaction, we need to write a hypothetical half reaction. So remember class nga in redox, it's called reduction and oxidation. Okay? So these two reactions go hand in hand. So if na ay reduction na dyan ay oxidation, dili pwede nga sa usa ka equation you only have a reduction or you only have an oxidation. You need to have both. Okay? So if na reduction, na oxidation. And nani mnemonics class, this Geroa and Leora. Okay, so gain electrons. If mo gain og electron ang katong nga substance, that means ang katong nga substance ni undergo og reduction, and that substance is called an oxidizing agent. And then if mo lose og electrons to nga substance, that means that substance ni undergo to siya og oxidation, and that substance is called a reducing agent. Okay? So again, first step, we need to write hypothetical half reactions. So for this case, let's say we have copper that formed copper 2 plus, right? And then we have silver ion that formed silver nga solid, diba? Sorry ko lang nag-2. So let's write the oxidation states of each species. Okay, so ang copper na siya solid, diba? I mean, copper, ang natural, it's in its solid nga form, which is the naturally occurring nga form. So that means its oxidation state is 0. And in here, 2 plus iyahang ang total nga charge sa copper is 2 plus, so that means ang iyang oxidation state is 2 plus. This one, plus 1. And silver, kay solid in its solid state man siya nga metal, in its metallic form man ang silver, so that means 0 po diyahang oxidation state. So from here, ang copper nga 0 nahimong plus 2. Okay, so from 0 nahimong plus 2, that means ni lose of electrons, so it's called lose electrons, it's called an oxidation. So this is the oxidation half reaction. Okay, half reaction. So which means ang kining copper nimo is called a reducing agent. Okay, so ari sa silver. So ang silver from plus 1 nahimong 0, so that means na reduce siya, reduction. So that means since we have oxidation and we have reduction, that means that this equation is called a redox nga reaction. Okay? So ang copper, again, ang copper nahimong copper 2 plus. That means ni lose siya og electrons, diba? So kung mo lose og electrons, it's called an oxidation process. So this is the oxidation process, and therefore ang copper is the reducing agent. Okay? Reducing agent. Kay ang copper man ang na-oxidize. Okay? So ang silver, since ang silver is ni gain og electrons, ni gain og electrons. You know why ni gain siya og electrons, class? From positive nahimo siyang 0, natangtangan siya og positive. So negative jud ang nisud niya kay nahimo man siya og 0, di ba? From positive 0 nahimong negative, di ba? Padung siya sa negative. So padung siya sa 0 di ay, padung siya dire. So that means natangtangan man siya og positive. So how to remove that positive man, how to kanang balance that positive man. So naa na something nga negative nga nisud niya, and the only negative that could balance that one is the gaining of electrons. Okay, from silver ion nahimo siyang silver nga solid, so ni gain siya electrons. That means ang silver plus nimo dire is the oxidizing agent. Kay this ang silver nimo is na reduce man siya, so mao na imong oxidizing agent. Okay, so let's try to balance an equation. Balance naman ni daan, so let's have another example wherein we need to balance an equation. Okay, so let's say for example we have MnO4 permanganate ion. Okay, sorry, change that to black. We have permanganate ion plus iodide to form iodine plus Mn2+. Okay? So, the first thing that we need to do is to separate the reactions into oxidation half reaction and reduction half reaction. So, for MnO4, ang Mn na adere, di ba? So, mao ni ang partner kay naman diri ang manganese, na diri ang manganese. Okay? So, that's MnO4 minus to form Mn2+. And then, ang I minus, of course, ang iyang partner will be I2. Okay? So, the next thing that we need to do is to we have to balance the number of atoms except oxygen and hydrogen. So kung nani hydrogen dire, iwiton jud na nato pod. Okay, so ang oxygen ug hydrogen iwit jud na nga balance. Let's balance the other atoms first. So for example, in this case, let's balance manganese. So one manganese here and one manganese here. So that is already balanced. For the second equation, I isa ka buok, duha ka buok I dire. So that means we need to balance this by adding a coefficient of 2. Okay? So that's already balanced ang atoms except for the oxygen. Okay? So to balance oxygen, we need to add water. Okay? So we need to add water in order to balance oxygen. So since naman diri ang oxygen, magbutang ta og upat man naka oxygen, so ang water is H2O. That means we need to add 4 ka buok kay para 4 pod na ang oxygen. So balance na ang oxygen, but ang hydrogen now kay 8 na sad ka buok. So we need to balance the hydrogen. So in acidic nga solution, if moan naman siya class, ang reaction occurred in an acidic medium, okay, or in a basic medium or neutral medium, okay. So in an acidic medium, if ang H nimo is to balance the hydrogen, you need to add H+, okay, kay acidic man siya, di ba? So since 8 man kabuk ang hydrogen dire, we need to put 8 H+ pod. So is it already balanced? 8 ka H, 8 ka H, 4 ka O, usa ka M, usa ka Mn. Okay? So, the atoms are already balanced. And next that we need to balance kay ang charges. Okay? So, here, sa reactants nga side, na kay plus 8, kay 8 magkabuk H+, so plus 8 ni nga charge. And then, usa kabuk manganate, so plus 8 niya, minus 1, kay negative 1 man ni, di ba? So, that's plus 7. Wherein this one, Ang sa reactant, sa products nga side, plus 2 ra kay mao ra man ni ang na-charge, zero man ang charge sa water, di ba? Wala man siya i-charge kay neutral man siya nga substance. So plus 7 nya plus 2, that means labaw ni siya og plus 7 dira no nya diri plus 2. That means labaw ni siya og 5 ka positively charged. So para ma-even ang ilang charge, adan sad na nato og 5 ka electrons diri. Kay para pun-an natong minus 5, then ika-total na to ani minus 5 og plus 7, that's a total will be plus 2, and then sa products na side plus 2 na pod. So equal na, balance na pod ang charges. Okay, and then let's do it with the other nga reaction. So from iodide na himong iodine, balance na ang atoms, di ba? And then we have to balance the charges pod nya. Kini kay iodide kay duha man ka buok, so that's negative 2 ang charge diri. But then 0 pa man ang charge diri, so we need to add 2 electrons po diri. Okay? Para ma-negative 2 po siya, so balance na pod. Okay? And then para ma-cancel ang electrons, we need to cancel this kay wala man jud electrons sa imuhang equation, di ba? Sa imong final equation dili man jud ka magbutang og electrons. So para ma-cancel po ni ato na i-multiply sa number of electrons ang both equations. Okay? So since 5 man ang electrons diri sa babaw nga equation, we multiply this by 5, and since 2 ang electrons diri, we multiply this by 2. Okay? So if i-total na natong tanan, distribute tanan, 10 electrons plus 16H plus 2 MnO4 nya plus ari na punta dire 5 ani times 2, so that's 10 iodide to form duha ka Mn2 plus 8H2O plus that's 5 ka I2 plus 10 ka electrons. And then i-cancel na nato. Na 10 electrons diri sa reactants, na 10 electrons sa products. Okay? Oops, sorry. Na 10 electrons sa products. Okay? So this is now our balance nga equation. Okay? Okay, let's try one in basic nga solution. Okay? Okay, so in basic pod class,